Who do you make your videos for?
Yeah, my audience is definitely younger. I'd say it's like 8 years old to like 16 years old.
My name is Jake Paul, and this is my channel.
Scan the crowd at any Jake Paul fan meetup, and there are preteen fans as far as the eyes can see. And that's no accident. Jake Paul's content is targeting far below the age of 12.
Now, I know it's thinking this is another Jake Paul video. No, it's not. This video is a game changer, and it might actually change YouTube. I don't even know for the better.
What we do here is go back.
Alright, I know what you're saying, but when I saw that Nerd City was making a brand new video that could impact the entirety of the YouTube platform, I began shaping what I now understand were unreachably high expectations. And usually when I see a Jake Paul exposed video, I set the bar pretty low. I expect to see someone like that complete fucking pussy Kavos explaining why he's such a bad person for 10 minutes while he's playing the moral high ground. Now, while this video wasn't what I was personally hoping it was gonna be, I'll be the first to say that it wasn't that shitty Kavos video that it could have been. Now, the video's been released and I've gotten a good 2 days to absorb it, and I really got to think critically about it. I think Nerd City made a rather large mistake, and I'm not seeing a lot of people picking up on it, and I'm not seeing a lot of people who did pick up on it talking about it, so that's why I'm making this video today. Now, the whole video stands at a length of about 42 minutes, and it was pretty excellent. It was a real treat to watch with a lot of great skits and seamless transitions. I could go as far to say the second half in particular was comparable to something that Colossal is Crazy would produce. Now, is Jake Paul marketing adult content to children?
Jake recently took a turn into making horror content. In a series of videos this summer, Jake and his roommates experienced home invasions from a gang of killer clowns, unknown adults wearing scary masks with blood on their clothes. During this time, Jake Paul changed his channel name to Jake Paul Will Die.
Yes! Is Jake Paul making 50% of his video an advertisement?
Half the time of the video, telling children what to buy.
So if you want to win $500, $250, or $100, then go to the website right now. Get yourself some Team 10 tour tickets, cop yourself some of the new drop.
Yes! Is Jake Paul over-sexualizing his content with impressionable viewers watching?
The mother squats her son's crotch and smacks his ass. This freeze frame. Mother's hand on son's crotch. How do you feel about that?
Yes! But his points on incest were a little overdramatic and probably could have been wrapped up with the sexual content. That might just be nitpicking. And of course I'm not just saying that because I made this really cringy incest Instagram joke with an actual ex-girlfriend previously that a couple of my friends probably would call me out on. That's not the reason at all. Alright, I'll give Nerd City another point. 4-0. Alright, I'll level with you. If this was a video intended to lampoon Jake Paul and prove that he is in fact a bad person, it has at least done that effectively. But if you look into the description and you look at his video introduction, this video is pointing towards the illegality of Jake Paul's business venture. Don't believe it? It's the first sentence. This video does not prove without a shadow of a doubt that Jake Paul is breaking any law, at least in the United States, and well, I didn't expect it to. But I expected more than what the first 15 minutes delivered. This video is a beautiful take and a fresh stance on a worn-out subject. Okay, so I'm gonna make this really simple. I recommend if you have not seen Nerd City's video yet, please click off of this video and go watch his first 15 minutes. Because there's a lot of information that I'm not gonna just simply restate. I'm only gonna mention the important things right here. He provides two numbers, 17.5% and 20%.
Why broadcasters and marketers want to advertise to children. It's big business. Out of a 13-minute and 50-second video, nearly 7 minutes of that time is devoted to advertising products. 50%. Now, remember our numbers here. 17.5% and 20%.
These are the acceptable values the law dictates are applicable to advertisements in children's programming. Then he shows evidence that the average Jake Paul video exhibits about 50% advertisements and utilizes tools such as repetition to really drive it into the viewer's head. We got him right. Wrong. Because what the introduction, description, and wrap-up for this situation are not addressing is that this is just simply not something that applies to a YouTube video. Yes, the description is technically correct. If Jake Paul was airing these vlogs on Nickelodeon or the Disney Channel, then yeah, they're illegal. But that's because these laws use the word broadcasting company. See it right there? Big letters. Broadcasting company. And I hate to break it to you, but we don't have a clear definition for what the fuck YouTube is, and that's a big fucking problem. You may think to yourself, of course it's a broadcasting company. They stream content to millions of people daily. And while that may be true, like I said, there is no clear definition for what YouTube is. Don't believe me? Let's ask YouTube.
Maybe
YouTube.
just tell us.
Whether they are a broadcast company.
Is he that foolish?
No, Nerd City, they aren't. And when YouTube was called out as recently as December 2017, this is what they had to say. YouTube has been called out as an unorthodox player within the broadcasting ecosystem. An employee of YouTube and Google named Matt Britton went on record to state, "We are not a broadcaster, but we do have responsibilities and regulations to comply with and follow." That statement essentially says we do not adhere to traditional broadcasting rules and regulations, but don't worry, and I will cover this after, we do follow something. But the problem here is we do not know what that something is. And getting back to Nerd City's video, this alone basically debunks your first major point entirely. And it was your biggest and most damning. If the media picked this up, it would have been a kill shot on Jake Paul. No doubt in my mind, and you could certainly make the argument that it should be illegal. You could have said that, but you didn't say that in your video. You did not use the word should. You could have said something like, oh, YouTube needs to introduce something like this. But you elected to echo that Jake Paul's videos were illegal to broadcast in the United States and the EU, and that statement is not true. Now, I'm prepared to give Nerd City the benefit of the doubt. He seems like a stand-up guy. Everybody I've talked to about him says he's absolutely fantastic, and I don't think he willingly misled his viewers, but it makes me a little bit suspicious that you put an 8 to 10 minute exposition in your video about a set of laws that, at least in the United States, do not pertain to the platform that we are on. Nowhere in your video did you mention this, and I really think you should have. Now listen, viewers, do not take this shit at face value. It's a YouTube video. Do not take a YouTube video at face value. Do your own research. I do not think it was Nerd City's intention to mislead anyone, but to some people, they will just run with whatever story that hits their desk. But I mean, people can't be that stupid, right?
Jake Paul, who was dissected and destroyed
Son of a
by
bitch.
Nerd City. Advertisers are not allowed to have like more than 20% of their advertising of a program
fucking
towards
second.
kids.
Hold
it has
on.
to be under 20. And
Fucking boy.
Jake Paul went way over.
So there were two articles that popped up really quickly on Google within the first 24 hours that I picked up on, and the first indicator that people were not paying attention is the clickbait titles. Notice Polygon doesn't say, Jake Paul is breaking the law in the fucking title. That's because they did actual counter research and actually checked their sources. And I'm not the biggest fan of their platform, but take a look at this. YouTube and its creators don't have to abide by the CTA rules, as it's not a typical broadcasting network. The FCC is currently looking to change the CTA's currency regulations. Parent advocacy groups complained about YouTube predatory advertisements geared toward children. YouTube has avoided the criticism in the past by reminding others that the terms state, in any case, you affirm that you are over the age of 13, as the service is not intended for children under 13. If you are under 13 years of age, please do not use the service. There are a lot of other great websites for you. And my real problem with this is that if the articles go and they don't do their research and they don't look like Polygon, then we on YouTube have a real fucking problem. Jake Paul is not breaking any laws. He's not gonna get hurt by this. When the advertisers pull out, we will. And I'll be the first one to say it. This video does not need to kickstart the Adpocalypse 2. I'm not a Jake Paul fan. I fucking hate the guy. And I hate that I have to defend this dildo. But I hope he gets punched so hard in the mouth during the next boxing card that he isn't able to read like Floyd Mayweather.
If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. Fuck the bucket eyes.
YouTube, you should age restrict this douchebag. YouTube, you should implement the system that the user inputs their target audience during the moment they are enabled for monetization, and then have a human that works for the company to look over the channel and see if it complies with the guidelines for children 16 and under. Videos that state, "Don't watch this with your parents," should get a yellow monetization symbol right off the bat if other things are being clicked out in the keyword search and the tags. But YouTube, well, let's talk about them. Alright, so now we're going to talk about YouTube. And I'm not going to pretend that I know every single little thing about the inner workings of the platform, so we're going to keep this fairly brief while only talking about things that I really think I have a firm grasp on. It's not going to be very difficult because we are talking about the company that literally removed the words "broadcast yourself" from their fucking slogan. Now we're going to turn the crosshairs on them, the company who intentionally stays so isolated and so quiet that they can effectively do whatever the fuck they want on their platform without any sort of consequence to bite them in the ass. It's the Facebook defense every single time that we ask whether YouTube is a broadcaster or not.
I view us as a tech company because the primary thing that we do is build technology and product.
You said you're responsible for your content, which makes
Exactly.
you kind of a publisher, right?
Well,
How about when YouTube takes down channels without warning? It's kind of fucking sad that it's easier to reach out to guys like Trusted Flagger than YouTube's own support team directly. But I mean, I guess it's just easier to treat your creators like shit rather than help them out. Too much effort. Can't be bothered. Or how about when YouTube deleted Alex Jones's channel under the blanketed hate speech rule? Well, guess what, motherfucker? That is the same issue we're having here. Transparency. Because when they did that, the hate speech rule came without any sort of clip or video used in reference. And if that doesn't scare you that they can just delete somebody and say hate speech, I don't know what will. But YouTube's vague standing makes it impossible to police them. Laws need to be modernized. They need to be put into place. It's clear that whether we like it or not, things have to change. And honestly, transparency needs to be introduced on the platform. I don't know. But I do know what they said, and if that was enough to say that Jake Paul makes content for children, then it's enough to say they're not a broadcaster, because they're the same thing. It's the same example. I don't know about you, but I am very tired. It's been very difficult cranking this fucking video out, so I'm gonna plug some shit right now, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going to be doing a new show with Tobes on his channel. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to fight Kavos because he's a fucking pussy.